spokesman for MMA UK, joined via Skype by Cal Ellenor. Thanks for giving us some time tonight, Cal.
Awesome, mate. That's no problem at all, man.
So obviously it's been a big week this week. Some big fight news has come out. Obviously you're going to be headlining the Bellator Dublin card against James Gallagher. So you've obviously known about. How long have you known about it that you were getting the fight with James?
I think it was like a day or two after his last fight.
Exactly.
I think it was about then. I think it was just after he fought on the London card. They pretty much got in touch straight away. But obviously it's a fight that I've been trying to get for a while. Like every time I've had the opportunity to say something about it or kind of comment on any kind of post, I would always say like, I'll be the man to fight him, and if the fight's in Dublin, I'll happily go out in Dublin and fight him. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of the environments I want to be in. You know what I mean? It's memories, isn't it? So.
Well, that's it. It's one of those fights as well with James having such a high profile name. Was it one you thought you would get, or you thought you'd maybe have to fight a few more times?
Nah, it's definitely a fight that I thought I would get. Like every time I mentioned it, everyone would say the opposite and say, "Oh no, he'll not get that fight because obviously he's fought this one. They'll be kind of like babying him a bit." But I just think this is I just could see it. I don't know why. I just always thought this was the obvious fight to make. Like obviously, realistically, I'm 9-1. Everyone knows that. I'm 8-2, but I'm not 8-2. I'm 9-1 definitely. Same as him. And I just think stylistically, it's a good fight. Like obviously, his kind of his style. They've probably watched a couple of my fights and thought, oh well, there's a couple of opportunities that James might have a bit of success. So it's a good fight to make for him. And that's what I always thought. I just knew I could just picture it happening. And I think stylistically and as well as just a load of other things just in my mind, just thought would happen. Like obviously, just the whole build up route's going to be awesome as well. We'll both be winding each other up. It'll be funny. You know what I mean? It's a good fight to make.
Is that part of it as well? Because obviously, James is a lot of the guys that come out of ASBG like that back and forth online and sort of heightening things up. Is that something you're going to enjoy? Just have fun with it?
100%. Like it's all fun at the end of the day. Like every fight's different, isn't it? And it's just this is just another fight, and I just think that it's all good crack, regardless whether like. However he goes on or whatever like that or whatever's said, it's all just promoting the fight anyway. So I don't really care about what he's got to say about us or what everyone else is saying. Like I've got a lot of people supporting us back home, and especially in the MMA community. Like obviously a lot of people who've seen this fight, like a lot of pro fighters, MMA coaches, amateur guys have seen me like fighting locally or on the scene, and they kind of know like they've kind of seen me skill level. Whereas like a lot of these new kind of people who's commenting on the Bellator stuff is all seeing on McCann, and if James is fighting another bum and this, that, and the other, and it's just it's awesome. It's still getting attention on the fight because at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter to me what they say at all. It's me that's getting to walk out there, main event in Dublin, and be live on telly, and what are they doing? You know what I mean? So it doesn't matter to me at all, really. Like.
Yeah, I mean, I think as well when you look at some of the online stuff, you've got to look into it a wee bit. Most of the stuff's coming for guys that are stateside. Anybody that knows the MMA UK scene knows how good a fight this is, and certainly knows you're absolutely no can by any stretch of the imagination. Just we'll continue talking about James in a wee minute. It has been a wee while since you fought, obviously back in Newcastle. You made your debut for Bellator in the promotion. Obviously very successful that night. That night in Newcastle, it's your hometown. There's a lot of people there supporting you. Is it almost there's more pressure in that situation than there is in going into Dublin or when you went to South Africa?
100%. Like that's like another reason why I'm happy it's there. Like I've got literally nothing to lose at all in this fight. Like even if it doesn't go my way, like what have I got to lose? Nothing. Like fighting at home in Newcastle, I sold loads of tickets. I had loads of people there supporting, and I knew I had a hard fight as well with Nathan Grayson, and I knew the style of fight it was going to be. I pictured the fight being longer than what it was, but I pictured pretty much the same kind of fight. I thought it was going to be in the trenches the whole way through, kind of be back and forth, and eventually thought I might have got a submission or even just grind it out. That's my style. I like to grind fights out. You know, I'm tough and I'm always fit, and I just feel like that's a massive part of my style, and that's how I seen it going. But it just obviously the submission came early, but it was definitely a lot of pressure to deal with fighting at home like that. And whereas when I go out there, like obviously there's a massive amount of support coming from England, but especially like Sunderland and the Northeast. That the reception this has got already has been massive. So I kind of like it is going to be a bit wild, but I just think there's no pressure on at all really. Like I've got nothing to kind of worry about. Like this is a good fight for me, and I just kind of wait to get in there and just deal with the kind of hostile environment and just experience that, because it's going to be wild, and I can't wait to get in and just feel it and just feel the vibe of being there. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, and the other thing about Newcastle, I believe that was your first time working with Dean Kirk, if I'm not mistaken. Just a quick question on that. I know you had a bad weight cut in the previous fight. Obviously, things went a lot better in Newcastle, but did Dean come in? He didn't come in at the start of the camp. Was it midway through the camp he came in and got involved?
No, it wasn't even midway through. It was the last couple of weeks, and it showed. Like, obviously, if you watch me fight, the amount of shots I took and absorbed, like I feel like a lot of people would have probably quit there, and like I just worked too hard to just give up. Like I did take loads of damage. I took a bad cut, took a load of shots in the back of the head, took a kind of heavy elbow and stuff like that. And I just think like obviously if I hadn't had the nutrition on point, like I definitely think that could have been a lot worse. But I felt fine the whole time. I felt strong, and like even though my fight prior to that, I didn't even cut anywhere near as much weight, but I walked out of that fight and it was literally like I was in a daydream. Whereas when I fought at Newcastle, I was literally like, even the same day after the win, a couple hours after, I was like, wait, if I needed to fight now, I could fight. Like that's how I felt. Like, whereas like the fight before that, I was walking out to the fight and it was literally like, as I say, I was like, it felt like I was in a daydream. It just didn't feel like I was there. And when I got in, well, I had a whole plan of things I was going to try and do, and I just felt just absolutely shot straight away. I ended up in a bad position at the end of the second round, and just adrenaline dump, just absolutely drained, and somehow managed to still push through 5-5s of just getting picked up and dumped on my head constantly. And it's it was an awesome experience. Like, don't get us wrong, like there wasn't a minute in that fight that I wasn't loving it. You know, I had a great opponent from a great gym and great crowd there, and I love South Africa. It's a massive part of me kind of career, and I'll never regret doing that, you know what I mean? But these things happen for a reason. I lost that fight there. Sorry, someone's just ringing us there.
That's all right.
Sorry. So basically these things happen for a reason, and I just feel like if I hadn't have had that fight, I might have still been winging it and just doing my weight cuts my own way. And I'm massive for bantamweight, and it was that fight when I fought Nathan Grayson. I cut loads more weight because I went out to Sweden 2 weeks out from my fight, and I came back and I was super heavy, and went into fight week like ridiculously heavy, from miles away from where I should have been. And even the morning before the fight, I was a lightweight, you know what I mean? It's like, well, what am I doing here? Like, I've got like ridiculous Yoel Romero level weight cut, you know what I mean? And it's just a testament to Dean, really, considering like how much I cut and the way I felt in there. Like even look at my body type. Like if you look at fights I've done in the past, when I've rehydrated, it's not like looked as athletic as I should have. And then look at when I fought Nathan Grayson, I just felt like an absolute monster. And that's like, I'll never fight without having him on board now. Like it's the best thing I did. So losing that fight to Tando in South Africa was the best situation that could have happened.
It's good that from a loss that you've got so much out and it's benefiting you going forward. And I guess the other thing then would be Dean came in obviously late, 2 weeks out, which, let's be honest, that's not a lot of time to work with a fighter. And for what he managed to do was incredible. How excited are you to see how your body feels statement in that case in Dublin, having Dean on board with you since February? You've had all this time now to work with him. You're going to have him in the full camp. Is that something as well that's gives you a lot of confidence, knowing that if you perform that way in Newcastle against an extremely dangerous opponent, how it's going to be when you walk into that cage against, well, it's going to be the biggest fight of your life, or most high-profile one anyway.
100%. amazing, literally amazing. Like we've already started now. It's 12 weeks out. 12 weeks to the fight today actually, and we're already on schedule. We're already doing everything right, preparing my body just to keep getting my weight down and make the last week that cut as easy as possible. I'll still be absolutely like massive for the weight when I get in there. Like I've seen a couple of people like when Bellator put the tail of the tape out. They asked us my range, and I don't actually know my range, so they've put it down, but it's not what it is on there. And people, the Bellator thought I was 5'7". I'm actually 6 foot on the dot. They've changed that and put 6 foot on the dot, and people didn't believe. When they say his weight, they'll say how big I actually am for the 135 mark. You know. Aside from that as well, like I can't even remember what I was going to say. So basically, what was the question? I've lost
we were talking about obviously Dean having been on board. He's going to be in for a full camp.
How
good that's going to be
like, I'll be fully prepared, and I'll be fully rehydrated, and I'll be absolutely massive on the night. And I think James will realise like how much of a task he's got in his hands when he sees how big, and when he feels how physically strong I am as well. Like I feel like that's a lot of thing that people don't realise. Like obviously until the season, they think, oh, he's like there's been a couple of times people say, oh, like you need to do strength and conditioning, this, that, and the other. You skinny man and stuff like that. And then obviously when they get in there, it's a different situation. Like I'm like a very physically strong bantamweight, and I feel like it's going to show on the fight night, especially as you say, having Dane on board for the full camp. It's going to really massively help. Like,
yeah, I think as well, having met you in person, you're definitely not 5'7", I know that much, but having the frame you've got at the weight you're fighting at, I mean, it wouldn't really be possible for you to put on too much more muscle. Otherwise, you would have to go up a weight class, surely.
Yeah, 100%, definitely. As you say, me frame myself. Like, there's been times when outside of fights I've been 84, 85 kilos. You know what I mean? Like, it's no secret. Like, after a fight, there's been loads of times I've been massive. You know what I mean? Like, it just happens. It just happens. It's cut weight. It just ruins us. And being a pig doesn't help either. So this time we've got ahead of it early and making sure that after this fight, as long as I'm not cut or badly injured or anything, like after I fought Grayson, I had to take a little bit of time off because I had a bad cut across my eye and I had a shoulder injury. But I'm looking for a quick turnaround this time. If I can get Jimmy put away and end the Jimmy show, I'm going to look to get straight back in at the end of the year. Like.
And I guess that brings us to then, obviously, James Gallagher. When you look at this fight, obviously when you went into the Grayson fight, there was clear and obvious dangers in that fight, and that was in Nathan's stand-up. That's where the fight was going to be dangerous, and he is somebody that can finish the fight in the feet. When you look at James, what do you take away from him as an opponent? Do you see anywhere you feel you can possibly expose him, or any areas you feel you're superior to him?
I just feel like literally going into this fight, like I just feel like, yeah, he's got some good attributes, but I feel like anywhere the fight goes, I can win. I feel like people get too hung up on thinking like, oh, he's this, he does this well and this well. I just kind of feel like, I've been in the trenches enough, and I'm in bad spots with like elite guys all the time, that I just feel like, regardless where the fight goes, I think I'll do well. And I feel like it's going to be an exciting fight to kind of see what kind of approach he has to it. Like, obviously, he fought Stephen Graham. He came out and literally just shot from instantly. Whereas when he fought Jeremiah, he kind of stood a bit. So it's just going to be kind of playing it by what happens on the night. But I just feel like anywhere the fight goes, I feel like I'll be comfortable, and I'm looking to show that as well. I'm not a one-dimensional guy. Like, if you think about my style, like obviously I feel like I've shown different sides of us every time. I've shown like obviously how tough I can be when I've needed to be, or I've showed me submission game, I've showed me stand-up game. I feel like I'm an all-rounder, and I feel like there's lots of parts of my style that people haven't seen. Like obviously I feel like I haven't even shown anywhere near the best of us yet. Like obviously the people I train with day in day out, they see it all the time, and I feel like this is the kind of chances you need to kind of get them get especially with the amount of attention that's going to be on it. It'll be a good one to really kind of break the world kind of market, and let people see what I'm all about. Like, so
yeah, I mean, this is what Bellator Europe's absolutely made for, situations like this. Obviously James has got a massive name There's no doubt about that. But it's giving guys like yourself, obviously Ryan Scope, Tim Wilde, it's giving you guys an opportunity to. People know about you in the UK, obviously, but it gives you an opportunity to show people across the pond, America, what he's all about. Is that something you've looked at with this fight? Because of the name he has, it gives you that opportunity to just really, for everybody to know who Cal Ellenor's or potentially is, turn it from the Jimmy show into the Cal show.
That's it, 100%. Like, I just want like I'm not even like asked about ever fighting for belts and stuff like that either. What I want to do is I just want to test myself against the best people, and James is a way that I can get to that level. Like, I always struggled with that in the past. Like, I'd want the bigger fights, but because of me experience or whatever, or like I couldn't get them. Like, obviously people with good winning records don't want to fight somebody just coming up because they've got too much to lose. Whereas I feel like now it's starting to get to the point now where it's kind of like these fights have become impossible. And if I beat James, obviously they'll probably give us another fight. Well, there's talks of another fight that could end up happening later in the year, like on a show. I haven't said any names, but said a short a time. But realistically, my dream is obviously if I win this, I want to fight in Madison Square Gardens. Since I've been a kid, 12-year-old, since I walked in the boxing gym, it's somewhere I've always wanted to fight. I've always visioned fighting there, and it's just I want to do that. That's so if I can beat Jimmy, and especially if I can like stop him either way, knock him out or submit him, that's the kind of the thing I want to be pushing for. And I want to start, obviously, if I do put him away, I want a better contract. I want to be getting paid proper money. There's people who on the prelims getting paid when I'm getting paid for a main event, you know what I mean? So I want to really change that up as well and get me worth and show them that I'm worth that as well, though. Like how much I engage with people and stuff like that. I'll show my worth, you know what I mean? If I win this fight, they'll see what backing me and promoting me will actually do, you know what I mean? Yeah. This is a fight that can make all this possible, so
yeah,
it's a win-win.
Well, that's it. And the other thing as well, obviously, you're not going to be going out there solo. You've got teammates fighting in the card, obviously. How much is that a benefit for you as well, having like Ryan Scope coming out fighting as well? So you're going to have guys that you train day in, day out with. They're going to be with you going through the exact same. Is that something that helps you as well?
Yeah, definitely, 100%. It's always good when there's another one of the guys on the card. You know, it's like just everyone's on the buzz together. We're getting close at the time. Everyone's sharing the nerves and kind of just experiencing the whole thing together. You know what I mean? Like it's awesome. There's a good buzz in the gym as well when people's got fights around the same time. I don't know what's happened to the screen, but it looks like, you know, I don't know if it was when they lost signal. It looked like you had one of them face swaps.
Oh, I definitely did.
Tights over your head or something.
What do you go?
But as I say, it's always a good buzz, especially like as you say, when your good teammates is on the one of your pals is on the card with you as well. It's just extra feel to the fire. It's good crack, man.
Definitely, we've got a happy and motivated Cal Ellenor as well. Get into this fight then.
100%, mate, definitely.
Brilliant. Well, that's all I've got for you, Cal. Listen, thanks very much for giving us the time tonight. We appreciate it, and obviously, best of luck September 27th against James Gallagher.
Legend, mate. Thank you. I appreciate it. Cheers, man.